Hey, what's up, partners? Well, get along, little doggies, as they say. We're just a ride along with my rifle, my pony, and me. It's a little Dean Martin song. I don't know if you've never seen Real Bravo, you know what the hell I'm talking about, but it don't matter. Speaking of Rio Bravo and Rio Diablo, this movie is a little bit of an homage or kind of a spoof of some of those movies. We'll get into that a little bit later. But the tagline for Blaze Size was "Never give a saga an even chance" or something like that. I think it was something like that, or an even break. So, so we also kind of asked the question because this movie is a little bit controversial, especially uh, probably to younger generations, I would say. But we'll see what but it can be. But we can tell you why the controversy, I think, kind of works in this one. We'll explain what you mean. We mean in a minute. Let me. Here's my good friend John's Comics with Friends is here.
Hello.
How you doing? I know you've seen this movie before.
Many, many, many times.
I believe everybody on the panel's seen this movie, so I don't think there's.
I mean, I hope if they're here talking about it, yeah.
Yeah. If not, we apologize because some of the language can be kind of crazy, but that's why there's no clips of this movie tonight, except for a couple that were appropriate. So, and also my friend Chad from Mel Collectibles is here. I know he's seen this movie. He's a Mel Brooks fan from way back.
Oh, for sure.
And also the thing is, like when I unveiled my schedule for this month, which was all Westerns month, we're almost done now. After this, we got the Outlaw Josie Wells. When I asked everybody which one do you want to be a part of, everybody, this was the one that everybody wanted to be on. And the good, the bad, and the ugly. They were everybody. But we got my friend Jake from Hounds of Gore in the house. Haven't had him on here in a while. And then from the lovely state of Oregon, Tales of a True Believer.
Let's go. Shout out to Oregon. Thanks for
the
rub.
He just got off the set. He's been filming, and he decided to show up and do the show with us. So I appreciate you, bro.
Hey, I appreciate you.
So anyway, I got a message here. Okay. All right. Anyway, I'll check that later. I'm pretty safe to say not a first time watch for anybody on the panel.
No.
All right. Okay.
No.
So this is directed by Mel Brooks, who is he like 100 years old now? This guy's getting up there.
He just had his 100th birthday.
Yeah, sure did.
And he was in the midst of making Spaceballs too. So, God bless him.
Yeah.
And like if we're talking about the guy that liked to parody stuff, I know we always have the movies like Airplane, the Naked Gun series, but is it safe to say this is one of the first guys to really kind of perfect the spoof kind of film?
I think that's safe to say. Perfect it for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to look up here at what the budget was for this movie. They got to look. This is 1974. It came out February 7th, 1974, at a budget of $2.6 million. And keep in mind, this is 1974. At the box office, it raked in $119.6 million in 1974. I don't know what that is adjusted for inflation, but that's a pretty big blockbuster. Actually, a blockbuster back then would have been like if it made 40 or 25 or 40 million at the box office, probably. But I mean, a smash. It would. Now, this is what you call a phenomenon. We don't really get anything like this anymore. Also, it does spoof westerns, but in my opinion, it's also kind of a love letter to all these old westerns. Like we says, you would do it for Randolph Scott, wouldn't you? Now, if you're not like me, it grew up with my dad watching these old westerns that I used to think were boring, but now I love. Then you might not know who Randolph Scott is, but if you're a western person, I say Randolph Scott, you know the fuck I'm talking about, right?
When it comes to making money, a Wikipedia fun fact I found was that it's very rare for a movie to come out in February and be the #1 grossing movie of the year that it came out. It's just not common.
It's crazy.
It was until Black Panther came out that a movie bested it and did it again. Like it took that long between Blazing Saddles and Black Panther for a movie that came out in February to be the #1 film of the year.
Also, a little controversy, obviously. I think even at the time it
Let's
came
be
out.
fair, this movie has a ton of controversy.
Yes.
Now, the one thing I will say in defense of it, you think, oh, this movie should not be watched anymore, or Richard Pryor helped him write
Who
this
says
film.
that?
I don't know.
You send those
there's
people to
out
me.
there.
Who are those
All right.
people?
Yeah.
What I'm saying, what I'm
I
trying
want
to say, in my
names.
defense of the film, Richard Pryor helped him write this. He did not get to be in it because he was an insurance liability at this time. If you know anything about Richard Pryor, he liked to ride the white dragon. We'll just put it that way. And Warner Brothers was like not so sure. Also, he was pretty controversial for 1974 comedian. Imagine, I don't know. I'm trying to think of an equivalent now to like, although they'll let comedians do anything now, unfortunately. But back then, it was like, oh, we can't let this guy be in a Warner Brothers film because he was kind of, what do you say, subversive? He was like with Carlin, the kind of subversive comic type thing.
I think John Wayne passed on the film because he said it was too blue. That was the term he used for it. But he said he would be the first in line to buy a ticket. So he was offered the Gene Wilder role first before anybody.
Also, there's an archetype. We'll talk about that later because it's a blueprint of a lot of Westerns used to do. Like, the sheriff comes into town and he's got to clean the town up. And he's got this guy that used to be the fastest gun in the West, and now he's just a drunk. Dean Martin played it perfectly in Rio Bravo.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think it was Robert Mitchum played the same character in Rio Diablo, which is basically the same film by the same director, just 10 years apart. But
Western lore, baby.
Yeah, I love the Western lore. But anyway, let's I was checking some of the comments out here. Hey, everybody. I think Collector P was here.
No, what's up, Collector?
Hey, look here, we got Callie here. What's up, Callie?
My man.
He said, almost lost a perfectly good hand cart. Oh, yeah. Damn, that sure was. We'll get into that in a minute. John, I'll start with you. What are your overall thoughts of Blazing Saddles?
So I was very lucky too. We tried to do fun things for my dad for Father's Day. I've got 2 brothers and a sister, and we try to find fun things to do for my dad for Father's Day because he doesn't want gifts anymore. Well, one year, Mel Brooks was touring the country with this movie, and you would go to a theater, the movie would screen, and then he would come out for a little Q&A afterwards. It was spectacular. It was not only was the audience just quoting lines at the screen the entire time. It was so much fun. They were laughing uproariously all the way through it. And then Mel comes out at the end, and the interviewer is sitting on a couch waiting for him, but he does stand up. The guy's like 90, and he comes out to the front of the stage and does like 15 minutes of stand-up comedy, anecdotes, stories. He's just running through all these things as if he just shot the movie yesterday. And the first thing he says is, it was so exciting to sit backstage and listen to the laughter, because the first time I showed this to an audience, I was sweating bullets because I believed this movie would be just an absolute failure and I would never make another movie again. Look, this is top tier comedy filmmaking. It does not get better as far as just joy. And I even like Young Frankenstein a little bit more than this, but it doesn't matter. Like, it's all genius. If you've never enjoyed or gotten the chance to enjoy Mel Brooks, boy, I envy you. You've got so many catalog, such a great catalog of film. High Fidelity. High Anxiety. Great movie. History of the World Part 1. I mean, he has so many wonderful films.
The producers.
But it's easy to call this, and many people do, his masterpiece. It is just such a perfect satire of the genre, while also, I think, paying complete, honor to it, and trying as best as he could to honor this truly American film genre. So yeah, this is a movie that I can sit down at any moment and watch it again. so many laugh out loud moments.
Yeah.
And yet on the topic of race, which I'm sure we'll get into a bunch here, still incredibly edgy, still incredibly on the forefront of the commentary about race in this country. And of course, what genre more aptly to dive into that topic than the American genre of the Western? So yeah, just a great movie.
Well, like also the thing about that we'll get into it is like they kind of turn it on its head though. Like the guys are the butt of the jokes. Like the first one was like, why don't y'all do one of them work songs, right? And they're like, what are you talking about? They don't know what they're talking about. And he starts singing it, I Get a Belt Out of You, which is hilarious. He makes some guys start singing Camp Town Ladies.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, John, I didn't mean to interrupt you, John. Are you through?
No, that was it. I don't want to jump on everybody else, but yeah, like what a great movie for sure.
All right, Chad, what are your overall thoughts?
I love this movie. Probably my third favorite Mel Brooks movie. I would put Young Frankenstein and Spaceballs ahead of this just by a little bit, right? But I love this movie. I've seen this many, many times. It's been a bit. I forgot how many drops of certain racial slurs there were. Yeah, I was kind of laughing. I have someone like come and help me clean, right? And she's a 22-year-old young black girl, right? So the last time she was here was Dirty Harry, which we all know there's some slant in there. And then today, I had to watch it, right? And she's like, what are you watching? I'm like, it's from, a long time ago. Yeah. Like, things were different back then, You
gotta schedule your cleaning better.
What's that?
I said you gotta schedule your cleaning better.
Yeah, no shit, man. I was a little nervous, but she's cool and not offended by any of that shit. But yeah, it did give me pause a little bit. There's so many great lines in this movie. Just so many quotable lines from multiple characters. I wanted to open up with "Excuse me while I whip this out." I mean that was one of my favorites for sure.
It's funny why you mentioned that.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
Yeah.
I think the best part is the woman act like she's fainting.
Yeah. So many great moments, and then the ending of it was just complete like bedlam. Like, what the hell is going on here? In true Mel Brooks fashion.
Yeah, completely breaking the fourth wall.
Oh yeah.
Like that. Like he said, "Screw you! I'm working for Mel Brooks." And well, also it's a pure genius to have like people like Slim Pickens in this movie, who's known for his Western roles, and then they had a guy portraying like Gabby Hayes, the old Gabby Hayes character. It was always in the John Wayne movies. It's not Gabby Hayes though; it's another guy. Yeah. Go ahead, Chad. I'm sorry.
Yeah. There's a lot of callbacks and stuff, even to other movies, and then even they throw in a few contemporary things for the time that are kind of funny. But that's Mel Brooks for you. I'm glad to be here to talk about this masterpiece, this comedy classic, and looking forward to getting into it.
Well, there's also, like you said, some thanks, Chad. The like you said, like things that were like in Blaze Saddles, he said something when they're getting ready to hang the guy in the wheelchair. And he's like, oh, yes, the Dr. Gillespie killings. And I'm like, I had to search what that meant. I didn't really know what they meant by it, but it says like the elderly man in the wheelchair represents actor Lionel Barrymore, who famously played the crotchety, wheelchair-bound Dr. Leonard Gillespie in the popular 1940s MGM film Dr. Kildare and Dr. Gillespie. So I don't know. It was that's kind of like a pop culture reference that I went over my head. So
me too.
But anyway, I'm just probably boring everybody to death. Jake, what are your overall thoughts of Blaze?
You're such a wealth of knowledge, Matt. That's great. Along with like Dirty Harry, Blazing Saddles holds a special place in my heart. You know, this is definitely like this was like one of my papa's like favorite movies, along with like Young Frankenstein and Blazing Saddles was another one that is like one of my mom's favorite Mel Brooks films. I think the first Mel Brooks movie I like saw, and like not like understood, but like got it. I think was like when I first saw Dracula Dead and loving it, and that's like super up there for me. I'm also like a big Leslie Nielsen fan.
Yeah.
But that and Robin Hood Men in Tights was also like another hilarious one, which are like both around when I was kind of like
towards the later part of his career for sure.
Yeah, and definitely like that was kind of when I was like getting into my teenage years too. So
I'm glad you saw. I mean, almost nobody knows Dracula Dead and Loving It.
That's one of my favorites too,
dude. The sequence when they're driving the stake into the coffin, it's like one of the greatest Mel Brooks scenes of all time. The amount of blood and poor Steven Weber from Wings is just like a mountain of blood just explode. Nobody, I feel like Jake, I love you even more than normal. Yeah. Like the amount. The amount of people that don't know the glory that is in Leslie Nielsen's performance in Dracula.
I love it. Well, like I saw the part where I play the clip sometimes on my show. He's not too.
when I have it on, I think I have like one of the like either like the 25th or 30th or whatever anniversary edition. I was watching it yesterday, and I was just like, man. Like, and I was watching some of the special features today, and I was like, the first thing that always comes to my mind is like, there's just like nonstop jokes, like one after another, and I was watching it. I think one of the special features was Back in the Saddle, and they're kind of talking about the production and writing of it all, and they had a lot of good writers and a lot of like improvisation, all those types of things going on. I do obviously, right, for obvious reasons, like I do love the fact that this movie has not been canceled, right? Like, and I think that's kind of hilarious in itself, but also like a testament to like what they made at the time.
But it has that like Tropic Thunder. You can't cancel this. It's so inappropriate, right? And it's so like making fun of itself. Like you can't possibly cancel something that is making fun of itself as much as anything else.
Oh no, like the scene where like the old lady says what she says to him.
Yeah, up here.
And like the end of it, like when he goes back to the office and Waters like, you got to understand these are common people of the land.
Morons.
Common, morons. And they're all idiots. Like, and they're all, if you notice, all their last names are Johnson.
Yeah.
It's like Olson Johnson's right about Howard Johnson being right.
And then the railroad workers are the ones that bail them out and save everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's.
But, overall, like, obviously it was, in the 70s. So a lot of things like I do find myself, like you said, you kind of have to like look stuff up, right. If they're like, referencing something from the 40s, right. It's like, some of the things, especially with like, I didn't understand until I was watching the special features about, every time they called Hedy Lamarr. And then the fact that Hedy Lamarr actually sued them.
Yes.
In the film, like the first like scene where what Hedley was talking about it, and then Mel Brooks was like, "Ha! It's 1874. You could sue her first," kind of thing, and it's like, oh, that's like making sense,
And they paid her, like they settled out of court to pay her for the use of not her name.
And if I'm wrong, Hedy Lamarr.
Hedy Lamarr.
Is she the one that invented Bluetooth? Remember, some weird way?
I don't know about that, but
no, there was she did a lot of things. She was a very talented lady.
But yeah, I mean, overall, just a hilarious, great film, and it's something that I definitely, rewatch regularly. And it's always good. It's a good family family movie for at least our family, you know.
Oh yeah.
But for sure.
But yeah, Hedy Lamar actually
Hetty!
worked with somebody during the World War II to create wireless signals, which
Oh, okay.
became Bluetooth later. So she
Nice.
was actually, like John said, she's a very smart. She didn't get a lot of credit for that stuff when she was alive, but
She had several inventions and things that she perfected.
rich.
Very, very intelligent
Yeah,
and
obviously,
creative
that's
scientific
awesome.
mind.
Like Missy Marsh says, believe me, even in the 70s, this was all outrageous. So
Yeah,
And
for
she
sure.
probably got paid more than Richard Pryor for this movie in the end.
Oh, yeah, and then
yeah.
one thing I
Yeah.
was listening, they were talking about Richard and how like he was kind of like, yeah, I probably shouldn't like put him as Bart. And they're talking about like one night he was supposed to be there for writing, and he called and he's like, yeah, I'm in like Atlanta or Detroit or something. He's like, I met a few girls last night, and now I need $200 to come back. And they're like, we gave him the $200 and he was back. But,
Well, that's Gene Wilder will talked about later on how sometimes it was hard to get a movie done with him because he was kind of wilding out.
Wilding out, drugs, baby.
Well, you know what? What's his name? Rick James used to say, cocaine is a hell of a drug.
It's a hell of a drug.
And if anybody knew that was anybody, and more than anybody, it'd be Richard Pryor. I mean, he lit himself on fire. So, all right, sorry.
Enough of me.
Yeah, exactly, Callie. Cocaine is a hell of a drug. Jake, okay. Jake, are you done? Or
Yeah, I'm done.
all right, sorry. Zach, what are your overall thoughts?
First and foremost, like everybody else said, this movie definitely holds a special place in my heart. I had a really strong relationship with my grandfather growing up, and one of the things that we used to do together was watch old films. And these Mel Brooks movies are the first, or these Mel Brooks movies, Blazing Saddles, History of the World Part 1, Spaceballs. Those three were on a weekend over at his house doing yard work with him and all that, and then watching those in the evening. And so like I learned how should I say this? The weight of the word that is used a lot in this film in a conversation before watching this film with my grandfather. So it holds a different kind of weight for me in that regard. It's the first time I've seen Gene Wilder other than Willy Wonka. So that blew my mind as a little kid. Because I'm not kidding. I was like maybe 4th grade when I saw this movie. So a lot of it went over my head. And as I got older, rewatching it, because I loved it so much, I got more of it as I got older, which was, I don't know, just a really cool experience. The type of comedy that I enjoy and the type of comedy that I like to do is really this Mel Brooks type of spoof, hilarious, dialogue type of stuff. And so like it's really at like a core of who I am as an artist and all that kind of stuff as well too. So gonna have a lot to say about this film. It's extremely quotable, and like I did many scenes from it in acting class with people that were down to do it. So like Are We Black? Then we're very puzzled. Did that scene numerous times with folks, and like just yeah, man, like this is an all-timer for me. So really, really excited to get into it, and definitely some things we can't get into. But I will say like this movie has definitely stood the test of time. Like there's memes about it still in the zeitgeist. Not to get political, but where the white women at with Hillary Clinton responding, we're out here in Cedar Rapids is like an all-timer. That one that my friends and I still quote to this day. I say harump, harump, harump all the time in my like daily life. And this thing's defective,
this one's warped.
Yeah, this was defective. Or whatever it is. But like, I'm really excited to talk about this one because Mel Brooks is one of my favorites, and I think is just a comedic genius, and his films are,
absolutely.
When you put a top 100 list of them, they're definitely in the very top of that list, definitely in the top 10. So yeah, excited to talk about it. And
it's also, we're getting ready to get into the casting, but there's like so many familiar faces. Like, wait a minute, I remember the first time when I watched it when I was younger. I'm like, is Higgins in this movie? That's the only way I know that actor's name is Higgins.
He's in Chinatown too.
Yeah, I know.
John Hillerman.
Yeah. Like he's one of these actors that's always also Mr. Lebowski's in this movie.
Yeah.
But like you're talking about the lines, though, like there's just not even lines. There's like scenes like where they're all eating those beans, and it's kind of like something like you would think about when you're watching westerns. Like, man, I bet these guys fart a lot. They eat a lot of baked beans or barbecued beans.
So good.
And here they're all just like, he goes, "Can we have some more beans, Mr. Taggart?" He goes, "I think you've had enough."
Yeah.
I spit the gum out. I probably should be chewing gum with this tooth, probably.
Good old Mongo, dude.
Daddy.
Oh, and that, yeah, Alex Karras.
Yeah, the dad from Mr. Belvedere or whatever was he or Webster?
Yeah, he was a lineman in NFL.
He's a football player.
Yeah,
he was an all pro. Yeah, but like this is like one of his first parts. Like he goes, it has something to do with where choo choo go. Like I also like how he's riding a steer and it had yes or no on its ass.
Yeah, dude.
And but
So
like,
good.
but also there's like the whole thing about the old washed up alcoholic gunfighter, you know, and like
A classic Hollywood Western trope, right?
yeah, and he's like, "You see that?" He goes, "Yeah, steady as a rock." He says, "This is the one I shoot with."
Yeah.
Going like that.
Oh.
He's like talking about how that kid, like, he goes, "I just dropped my gun and the little son of a bitch shot me in the ass."
Not me in the ass.
And also I got cracked up today where he's like smoking that cigarette and he goes, "Listen, Bart." It's like
I don't know if that was a cigarette.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I know. But like when you're a kid, I thought, well, that must be a bad cigarette. But they're joking because they're always rolling their own. They must be rolling joints, you know.
Yeah.
So that's another little joke they're kind of throwing there. And like, I don't know. It's just real great. Like, and we totally break the third wall. Like, you got the guy dressed like Hitler in the cafeteria. And one of the brothers, he says, "So how long are you going to be around?" They lose me after the bunker scene.
Yeah.
I think that too is what really puts the movie in a different light because like you said, it's in on the joke and it doesn't take it so serious. And then at the end, it just like totally destroys that fourth wall. And like
when
Gene Wilder was in on it, right?
And Cleavon Little ride off. They ride their horses like they're going to ride off the sunset, and they get off the horses and get in the limo.
They get the limo.
Drive off in the sunset.
So good.
Yeah. That was just... Also, the fact that Cleavon Little's got the Gucci bags and everything.
Yep.
I thought that was really cool. And like, also like how they play up how fast he is. Like he's sitting there like this and doesn't even move. And I was thinking how fun it must have been for Gene Wilder to play this character.
Oh yeah.
Like it had to be kind of a good time. So. And
Headley broke the fourth wall once too while he was sitting at the desk. He's like, "Why am I asking you guys?"
Yeah. And we'll get into that right now. We're getting ready to get into casting, but yeah, everybody's going to talk about this guy. The guy you're talking about was Harvey Korman, who was on the Carol Burnett show, which is
so funny. Such
a
talented
old
comedy
Carol
actor.
Burnett with him and Tim Conway.
Yeah.
And Lyle, what's his name? Lyle. The other guy's name was Lyle something. I can't remember. But they were just great. Like if you could, like the whole thing was if Harvey Korman and Tim Conway couldn't get through a skit without laughing at each other because they're so stupid.
Yeah.
But we'll get into that like in the casting now. John, I want you to highlight a cast member.
I mean, look.
Tough choices.
I agree, but I asked to go first. I was like, I'm a last minute replacement, and so was Gene Wilder. I can't imagine this movie with somebody other than Gene Wilder, and the fact that he was their last choice for this. He had to fly in to cover for the guy who was dealing with alcohol poisoning on set. That's how far down the queue they had offered him the Harvey Korman role, and he'd like passed on it. And then here he comes in riding in to save the day. There are a handful of comedic actors that I think left serious fingerprints on my funny bone. and Gene Wilder is near the top of that list. And obviously we mentioned Young Frankenstein, which is my favorite comedy of all time.
Oh my God, it's such a great movie.
And he wrote that. He was nominated for an Academy Award for writing that as well. And then, of course, somebody mentioned Chocolate Factory, which I probably watch every year. the man, we could list Silver Streak, and we could go on forever on. He just has a phenomenal way to deliver lines, and he feels so comfortable in these roles, even though there's nobody on earth who would have thought of him to cast him in this part.
No.
Like, you think of all the tropes, the Western hero tropes that you have for this drunken gunslinger looking for redemption. None of that is inside of what you would imagine with Gene Wilder carries in his bag of acting tricks. And yet here he is, and he just crushes it. He has so many great moments, and he elevates every single scene, and he adds this layer of being like this underdog that is so wonderful, and yet also has all the like life lessons and commentary that clearly Cleavon's character needs, as far as like why these people are going to be a problem, or why this isn't going to work, or what have you. He's a genius, and he knows how to speak Brooks. Like, he knows how to take what Brooks has put into words and then place it onto the screen. There are so many great scenes, like when he just pounds that bottle of whiskey, just like,
I know,
it's just, he's so good. And I love every moment he's on screen in every single movie. I'm just smiling ear to ear, and it is never truer than obviously here in Blazing Saddles. So I had to bring him up. The fact again that he was passed over for this role, like so many other people were offered this role, and he passed on a completely different role, and then the actor got basically the bends from his alcohol depression or whatever, and they had to call in. Here he comes riding in to save the day. It is so wonderful. And then who can imagine this movie now without him? So it's just perfection.
Also, this is, I think, one of 2 westerns he did in his whole career.
Yeah, he did that one with Harrison Ford, right? Frisco Kid,
which is also I highly recommend watch. It's funny. It's really funny movie.
It's not Blazing Saddles, so don't go in expecting that.
Don't go expecting Blazing Saddles, but it is a fun adventure.
He gets to play the oddball versus Harrison gets to play the gunslinger. So it's a different chemistry. But Harrison Ford doing comedy, which he almost never did before Shrinking. It's a rare. I'm impressed that you've actually seen that. Look at this panel. The fact that people have seen and heard of Frisco. I haven't been on a panel with people that have heard of Frisco Kid, much less seen it.
That's hilarious.
Well, it's like, I felt like this is what I love about doing this show. Is like when me and Robbie and Fable. It's twofold. Me and Robbie and Fable reviewed The Wild Bunch, directed by Sam Peckinpah.
Oh yeah,
and it kind of just felt good for a moment. I had to comment like, you know what? I've been holding this movie for myself. Keep this movie, you know what I mean, for years.
Sure.
And I mean, waving the banner for this movie, nobody. It's like, then like I got these 2 guys, Robbie who loves it, and Fable who'd never seen it before. Talk about how much he loved it. So that's why I love this show, like
for sure.
Doing this kind of show, because like there's some movies like that. Like I remember watching a movie called Killing Zoe, and it took 30 years for me to find somebody else that actually appreciated that movie.
One of the original like Pulp Fiction inspired kind of films. Yeah.
Roger Avery. Yep. There. Cliff knows what we're talking about.
Cliff knows it too. I'm impressed.
But Gene Wilder, like Young Frankenstein too, I got to go to because I watch it every Halloween.
Oh. It is my favorite of his films for sure.
I don't know.
Just Wilder performance ever. Too.
Oh my God. He carries that film, and it's so amazing. He gets to do so many different things. It's so wonderful.
Interesting too is he likes to use, like we'll talk about this, like with the casting, Mel Brooks, there's like go-to people he likes to go to.
Right.
I'm not going to mention any names. There's another one in the movie too, but somebody might pick her. So I don't want to say her name. But Chad, what is the character you want to highlight?
Well, I think you kind of read my mind there a little bit. There's many great actors, great performances in this movie, but I'm going to go with Madeline Kahn.
All right. See, I didn't want to mention it because I knew somebody would. Yeah.
I'm glad somebody did. Yeah,
me too.
Lily von Stuck.
That German accent's so good.
Dude, and I watched, there's a special feature on the DVD I watched. It was like Making Madeline or something, and it's just a little short about how Mel Brooks wanted to cast her in this, And he tells this story about, okay, you're gonna do this like vaudeville, you know, kind of strip tease. How are your legs? And she just like pulled up her dress, and he's like, "You got great gams."
She was like, my legs are great.
Yeah, yeah. She has like such a presence without being like pretentious about it, right? Like she's sultry and sexy and funny and smart at the same time.
Mhm.
Like, and that accent really throws it off, right? I do find it kind of funny. She's Jewish and she's playing a German, and then she's got like at the end of it, which is a little bit more contemporary. She had like some German soldiers and they're like singing together and shit. Um, that number that she sang, according to Mel Brooks,
I'm tired.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
tired. They just keep coming and going, but too soon.
Oh, it's so wonderful.
So apparently, Mel Brooks said that was the dirtiest song he had ever written.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I
because he
was
wrote
like-
everything, all the lyrics for all the songs.
Yeah,
So good.
so good, so
Yeah.
good.
She's such a treasure. I mean, I can't imagine anybody. Can you imagine trying to find the person who could deliver this performance, the physicality, the singing? Like, who could do this?
I don't know. I think it's perfectly casted. The same thing with Gene Wilder, like you said. I cannot imagine anyone else.
Mm.
And the same thing with her role, like just fantastic. I didn't think he said Mel Brooks said she had like a great set of pipes, like she could have been the greatest movie star ever, but apparently she had like low self-confidence. I don't know. I've heard her sing better than that number. Right?
Well, I mean, in Young Frankenstein, oh, sweet mystery of life.
I always like that. She's like, every time he tries to kiss her, and like, she's like, my lipstick, my makeup, and she turns her head real quick.
Oh, she does have an amazing voice with a ton of range.
Yeah,
Airplane is a good one.
Again,
Also,
even that sultry voice, right? Like, yeah.
and she won an she was nominated for Academy Award, wasn't she, for I think Paper Moon?
Yeah, this was her second was it nomination?
Yeah.
It was Paper Moon.
Sadly, she passed away of ovarian cancer in 1999.
Yep.
Fuck cancer. That's what I say. But
definitely.
all right, Chad, you got anything else?
Oh no, that's about it.
You know what I liked about was the scene where she's like, "You want any more?" He goes, "No, baby. 15 stitching grooves, as many as I can." Like she's like, I don't know. I just like when she slips, because I'm slipping to something more comfortable. You hear all that noise going on behind her. She pops out with this looking. I don't know, but also I like where she's like, "Is that a 10-gallon hat, or are you just happy to see me?" And she's kind of playing on the Mae West character, you know, like from the old westerns back in the day, where she's like, you know, come up and see me sometime, you know. All right, Jake, what's the character you want to highlight?
I wanted to mention too, Madeline Kahn has a great cameo in the Muppet movie in a brothel kind of setting, El Slizo Cafe, that totally reminds me of this movie. So her character here and her character there, I feel like they're sisters separated by time.
Yeah. All right, Jake.
That's definitely a difficult decision. I will say I'll probably take Harvey Korman. I do feel like Headley really, like, I don't know, man. He had just like he was like a constant throughout the whole film, and I feel like he just delivered like straight comedy the entire time. I was watching some of like the special features, and I did watch that one too, Chad, that you mentioned. But yeah, he was talking about the very like first scene he had with like Mel Brooks. He's like, I kind of he's like, I kind of felt like I just like went too like basically like balls to the wall. Like he felt like he did too much trying to like kind of prove himself, you know what I mean? And did a lot of improvisation and stuff. And he did say like if he could, he would like to go back and maybe like kind of ease into it. But I mean, I don't know, man. Like I really love all the bits he did. I think he's also like one that is just like a constant like one joke after another. He's a part of like so many of the funny aspects of it. And then I didn't want to like choose this person because they're like super mild, but I did find out it's Jessamine Milner. She's basically credited as the elderly woman who like I just think is so funny with like her little bit parts, with the up yours, and then basically like delivering the pie, and then after she delivers the pie, she's like, "Oh, of course you'll have the good taste, not to mention that I spoke to you." And then the other like hilarious part too is you see her being held and just like taking stomach shots. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and she's like, oh. Like I don't know. I like those like little bit parts that like for like an elderly woman to like deliver that kind of like comedy, I think is hilarious. But she is like a little shout out I wanted to give.
All right. Thanks, Jake. Zach, what's a character you want to highlight?
I mean, I guess I got to go with the old sheriff himself, Mr. Cleavon Little, dude. Because I think he does a fantastic job in this movie. A lot of talk about, it could have been Richard Pryor, which that's a big wave you have to surf, dude. And I think he does a fantastic job in this movie. Like the hostage scene when he puts himself to hostage. Yeah. I can't repeat half the things he says in that scene, but the way that he plays that is phenomenal. The one thing you said, John, about Gene Wilder and being able to speak Mel Brooks and being able to take Mel Brooks' writing and do it in a way that is done really well, right? And I think the one thing that Gene does great, and one thing I think Cleavon does great in this movie, is they play it for keeps. Like they play it serious with a wink. Like at some points throughout the scene, you may think they're in maybe a good Western drama, but then the wink comes and it's like, aha. And that's so good. And I think that's what Mel Brooks does really well with all of his films and all the different genres that he spoofs. But I think, anyway, to get back to Cleavon, that scene and the Candygram for Mongo was phenomenal. And he just does a fantastic job of just playing the cool-ass sheriff, dude.
Yeah.
And I think it would have been a little bit different with Richard Pryor in it. I think it would have been a little more goofy. And he just had this suave swag about him, dude. And when he talked, it just was smooth. Everything about him was smooth. Even the way he rode his horse was smooth,
Well, him
and
I
Gene
thought are smarter than everybody in this town, obviously.
I'm sorry, what'd you say, Matt?
Him and Gene Wilder are like the smartest people in the town, too.
Oh, yeah, by a long shot.
Yeah, I also heard the original like screenplay writer wanted to have James Earl Jones play Bart as well.
That would have been insane too.
Yeah,
like just totally different vibes, and I think
for sure.
He's a perfect ingredient into all the little stuff that makes this just this wonderful. Someone said second best comedy of all time. But yeah, like I said, he's just so smooth. And as you are my guest and I am your host. What is your pleasure? Dude, he just has a lot of really cool quotable. Every character in this movie has really tons of quotable quotes. So excited to get into that part of this discussion. But yeah, my man Cleavon. Shout outs to Cleavon, dude. And he gets laid, dude. Shout outs to Cleavon, man.
So actually, like he ends up seducing her. She was supposed to like break his heart. And it didn't work
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I also like the part where he's like, we stampeded cattle. Well, that doesn't sound that bad. Through the Vatican, he says kinky, and he goes to sign the paper. Goes, oh, Rit, you must have not forgot to wash your hands after the week we prosper. No, they're great team. They're great chemistry together.
Yeah.
And he really is the focus of the film. So like his whole like riding into town and the old miners screaming that, and the bells ring, of course, just in time with the horrible word. And then he rides up, and then the welcome banner rolls up. And it's like it's such a great moment. It was one of the early times for me, at least as a film goer, to be like understanding race in the context of the world. And here it is in storytelling in those universes where how often did you see a black character in an important role in a Western prior to this? And it was great. He's amazing.
The way it's played too, like when they're on the hand car and they go down there and they get stinking, and Slim Pickens he goes, "Damn, that was lucky. Damn near lost a $400 hand car."
Yeah.
And also the part he goes, "Well, if I want to tell on a little family secret, my grandmommy was Dutch." But then when the guys he says, "Here, well," he says, "Quit laying there." He says, "Here, put this shovel to use." And he's like, I just love that part where Cleavon picks up and goes, he looks at his buddy and the guy's, "Don't do it." He goes, "I got to, baby." Well, that saves. I'm glad this guy was saved, because I want to talk about Slim Pickens. I think that like him and Harvey Korman together really elevated each other to like they're just like playing off each other. And I think that goes back to with him being on the Carol Burnett show. I think Korman was always good at having he does it with Mel Brooks in the movie, like doing it a little back and forth. I just love his back and forth with Taggart the whole time. Like he's like, "Oh, it's okay, Mr. Taggart." He goes, "It's okay, Taggart. It's just a man and a horse being hung outside." And he's like, and
them in the bathtub.
Yeah, and then he's like, "You talk further than $1,000 hooker. Use your tongue better than a $100 whore." Yeah. And also, but my favorite one is he's like, ooh, I got an idea. We'll kill the first male-born child in every family. He goes, "Too Jewish." And then he goes, "Oh, I got it." He goes, "We'll do a number 6. He says, "We'll going into town, a whooping and a hollering and beating everything within an inch of his life, except for the women." "Oh, you spare the women?" "Heck no." We blanked the shit out of them later on at the number 6 dance. Like,
so good. Yeah.
What's up, Fable? Thanks for dropping by, man. Yeah, so but like Slim Pickens was always like, he was never like a star, but like he was always in movies, like as far back as I can remember, like 50s and 60s. And like he was in famously Dr. Strangelove. It's one of the most famous scenes where he's riding the nuclear bomb down like a cowboy, like a rodeo cowboy. Yep. And he always was like kind of in like the Steve McQueen movies in the background. I think he was in The Getaway. I think he was in a movie called Junior Bonner. He was in a lot of Sam Peckinpah movies. In Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid. Probably one of the best scenes in Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid. One of the saddest scenes in that movie is the scene where he's dying. So like you think Slim Pickens is a goofy character, but he could play it serious too. But he was good as an ensemble cast member in this, especially just him, not just him and Harvey Korman, but like the guy was supposed to be his like foreman, like a real idiot. Like, yeah, like so, and like the part where they go to the toll booth, he's like, "So anybody got a dime?" He says, "Somebody go back into town. We're gonna need a shitload of dimes." And it's like such a like. Sometimes there's like Looney Tune moments in this movie like that.
Oh yes.
But anyway, so that's my guy. We'll talk about Slim Pickens. Also, shout out to just a little quick shout out to if I can find his name here. I don't want to screw his name up. David Huddleston. He plays Olson Johnson. He was Mr. Lebowski in The Big Lebowski.
Yeah, the Mr. Yeah, not the dude.
Not the dude, man. The dude abides. The dude abides.
The dude abides. Yeah.
And then of course John Hillerman, who played Higgins on Magnum PI. Also, I think he was in the original The River Kwai, I think.
Well, and Chinatown. I always remember him from Chinatown.
Chinatown, yep.
Yep.
And the guy that played, I thought that Liam Dunn, the guy that played the Reverend, was hilarious too. And then I can't remember the lady's name. Is it Claude Ennis? Is it Gabby Johnson? Is that no? The woman was the teacher, and she's like, "Oh, Carol Arthur," and she does that. "Wee, the God-fearing," like they jump out of the
We can't hear you.
But there's a lot of great like guys like that in it. And like also Cleavon Little and the guy that played Slim Pickett's foreman were in another movie together, Fletch Part 2.
That's funny.
And he was also in Fletch, I think. One of them was in Fletch. But anyway, so they're like a lot of people in the movie you see are like character actors you would see in a lot of movies at that during that time period, like the 70s, early 80s. So, all right, now we'll get into it again. And this time I'm going to go start with Zach. This time, I think. What do you think of the style and structure of Blazing Saddles?
Everybody's kind of touched on it a little bit. It pays homage to the genre of westerns, also while poking fun at it. Like I just said when talking about the acting, like playing it serious with a wink. I think that's where the best comedies are. And not to be a drone about movies nowadays, but you go watch a comedy nowadays, and that's very few and far in between. It's more of like the wink first, and then we play it as a joke. Mm-hmm. And that's what I think it misses from comedies today, and that's what I think Mel Brooks has always done so well. Even when it's the Looney Tune moments, there's still enough of it where it's like, man, this is so good, and it's a masterclass as like an actor of watching comedic acting and timing and like physical comedy and just the jokes and how you deliver jokes and all of that kind of stuff. It's a masterclass. So from the structure of how it's done, like to the end, like I said, what I think makes it just a more phenomenal film is breaking that fourth wall and going on the Paramount lot and going through the different sound stages and shit. Like it's phenomenal. Like this is definitely, I can see why people would call this like his opus, like his best film for sure. Yeah, I think it's great. Like there's so many great moments like we talked about, so I don't want to step on anybody getting into those, but yeah, man, I think it's not to keep kicking the dead horse, if you will, or punch the dead horse. It's phenomenal. So yeah,
thanks, Zach.
Yes, Slim Pickens was in the Apple Dumpling Gang. That's right.
I forgot about that. That's a good movie. It's a good movie.
I always love his voice. He always had a really unique voice. And I think that's what also I think made him a really cool kind of like ensemble character actor.
And like I say, like I'll tell anybody, like, and I tell you what, we'll watch it backstage after the show if y'all got time. But like, if you've never seen Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid, and he's sitting there, and the whole movie talks about how he wants to get a boat and sail away. And they're in New Mexico. He said, "When this cattle war's over, I'm getting a boat and I'm getting out of here." And he gets shot in the gut, and he's sitting there bleeding out next to a creek. And he realized that's the closest he's ever going to get to the water. And it's like, and they're playing Knocking on Heaven's Door in the background by Bob Dylan. So you're like, woo, goosebumps. Like just the way, it's just, I don't know, it's an interesting scene.
Rough.
Anyway, it's kind of rough, but like, I'm good at bringing people down. Sorry. All right. Thanks, let's go. We'll move on. Thanks, Zach. Zach. Jake, what do you think of the style and structure?
Zach hit a lot of notes. I was thinking, Mel Brooks, to consider all the things he has done, is really just a comedic genius. He's really just brilliant. If I could give an analogy, I guess, or comparison, he really is like very similar for me to like Monty Python, and like English, comedy. It's really like on a different level. And I think that's another reason why this film has like stood the test of time, right? Like that was 1974, right? So, I mean, just as hilarious today as shocking and hilarious it probably was back then. Yeah, I mean, the style of it's great. You definitely get that the Western feel. The structure is good. It's another one of those where it's very like, structured, right? So like, it's not lagging behind. I also don't feel like, there's really like a stop in the comedy. They kind of go, I will say they go pretty heavy in the beginning. But I don't think it really lacks anywhere necessarily. But yeah, I mean, he's like Mel Brooks is like America's Monty Python. I love Monty Python too, and I'm glad we have Mel Brooks. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely. And I'm just telling everybody, I'm telling the universe to protect Mel Brooks. So we
Right.
can get him for this Spaceball movie, right?
yeah, absolutely. Spaceballs was another one of my favorite movies too.
But you know what? There must be something about old school comedians that just in the water. I mean, I don't know, because him and Dick Van Dyke are both over 100 years old. And
Hey, laughter is the best medicine, man.
It is
true.
So.
Spend a life laughing, dude. You'll live a long time.
Right.
All right. Thanks, Jake. Chad, what do you think of the style and structure?
I think this movie has a lot of different layers to it. Kind of like we're saying, like you got the parody, you've got the fourth wall bedlam stuff going on. It doesn't take itself too seriously. And I liked what you said, Jake, about the Monty Python kind of connection there. And Zach kind of hit on it too. Like movies today lead you by the hand, right? Mm-hmm. Mel Brooks and Monty Python are intelligent comedy.
Comedy, absolutely.
Like, and if you don't get the joke, you can watch it again and then you'll get it. You know what I mean? And I think that's why these movies last, is because you find over and over. I've watched Monty Python and the Holy Grail over 100 times. And every time I watch that fucking movie, I find something in the background new to laugh at.
Yeah.
The jokes are highbrow and lowbrow, and they're not prefacing it and walking you through the joke like this is a dad joke, dick and fart. Like it's very, very well done. All of the music numbers in this, the little sound effects, like you guys mentioned the Looney Tunes thing, like the Candygram, and then the little prance he does away with some Looney Tunes music.
Yeah.
It's very much reminiscent, right? Like, and if you didn't get that, you will get it, or you should. There was even another scene that they had cut, another Looney Tunes.
Yeah, did you watch those ones?
Yeah, the deleted scenes. And then there was an extended scene of the beans farting thing. That was pretty funny. It's brilliant. I don't know what else to say. Like, brilliant performances, comedy, the sets, all of it, man. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. I don't know. It's just like a lot of timeless. I don't know what else to say about that. I mean, I think I have a feeling where all the ratings are going later, but all right. John, what do you think of the style and structure?
I mean, a lot of great comments here for sure. I wanted to touch on music. I do think this is like borderline musical. Like there's so many fun songs happening here, and Mel wrote the lyrics for pretty much all of them, if not the actual music, the sheet music for them. The Blazing Saddles theme song is super. I think my daughters would say, it slaps. Like it is a great song.
Does it whip?
Yeah,
it whips, bro.
Yeah.
It works. It works
fire,
as,
John.
It works as like a Western theme song, and it works as a satirical Western theme song, like simultaneously.
Yeah.
If you've ever seen the mildly atrocious John Wayne film War Wagon, it has basically the same fucking song. The War Wagon theme song and the Blazing Saddles theme, they're the same song, and one is supposed to be taken 100% seriously and the other one is satire, and they're the same song. Like, you can't convince me otherwise. It is that good.
It was sang by the same guy, Frankie Lane.
It's so hilarious.
Frankie Lane did a lot of these westerns like this, and he was looking for a Frankie Lane type.
Yeah,
to sing this song, and
Frankie he was like, "I'll do it."
To do it, yeah.
Come
and
on.
He said, and Mel Brooks later said, "I didn't have the heart to tell him it was a spoof."
Because he has one gear, and the guy just gives 100%, and it works so well. And then, of course, Madeline Kahn comes in and she's singing hers. Like,
And she's supposed to be like Marlene Dietrich. It's supposed to be like a Marlene Dietrich type.
Yeah. Oh my
like,
God.
Mae
And
West
my
type character. Yeah.
I grew up. My sister is like 6 years older than me, and she at family gatherings would just roll into this song and just crush it with the lethargic, like I'm just tired, I can't be bothered, oh, I'm too tired, and just it's so good. And the only performer who I think has ever had that same energy for me is Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Like she's right there with that same Madeline Kahn energy, and I can do all these emotional layers, and I can sing, and I'll make an ass of myself, and it's just so like
Catherine O'Hara was like that too.
Oh my God, yeah, right. So there's a musical layer to this that's a whole lot of fun. If you've never seen The Producers, that's a wonderful musical. Not just the film, but of course, like you can go and see the traveling tour. You can go to Broadway and see it. They
even brought it back into like Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Oh, it's so good. It's so wonderful. And then you all mentioned the like jokes per minute thing, and I think it's worth mentioning Sid Caesar and the Show of Shows, and how like that was the grind of like comedy television in the era that Mel Brooks came up, and you have to just keep inundating the audience with joke after joke. You can't slow down. You can't take a break, take your foot off the gas. Carl Reiner and Brooks apparently would have dinner once a week all the way till Reiner died in 2020. They grew up on that program. They became comedy writers through that grind, that gauntlet that Sid Caesar put them through. And I think that's why within, again, like a year and a half span, he turns out Young Frankenstein and Blazing Saddles. And it's like, holy cow, this guy, he can't turn this off. Like it's so ingrained in his like comedy culture, right?
Yeah. Well said.
Yeah, it's just gonna be a part of him. Like this, he can't.
It's his DNA.
That famous thing he did on the show, the 1,000-Year Man.
Yeah,
yeah, 1,000-Year-Old Man is always like great. And
again, like, even at 90, when I got to see him on stage in person, he has not lost a beat. Like he is just as sharp and funny and quick and just, oh my God.
And there doesn't really need to be the one-liners for him to get a joke. Has anybody ever seen the movie Silent Movie?
Yeah.
Underrated film.
Also a good one.
That's like where they're racing like on the wheelchairs with Paul Newman.
Yeah.
And they where they're in the shower and like I love Burt Reynolds like looking himself in the mirror like, oh, I'm good looking, and then he's sitting there watching himself and all these extra hands start popping up in the shower. He's like, what the? I love that stuff.
So good. So good. So yeah, there's a lot to really enjoy technically with music and writing and style and wittiness, speed of the jokes, man.
Yeah. And shout out Sid Caesar, by the way. Seeing him in History of the World Part 1 was the first time I saw him not in Grease. So that blew my mind. I see him as a go from Grease to a caveman.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then to see how much of a comedic genius he was, like my little 5-year-old ass didn't know that when I saw Grease.
No, because I mean the Show of Shows only lasted 4 years, but they did like 100 and something episodes in that time. They were turning those things out like crazy.
Well, they had like 68, 70 episodes a season back then.
It was wild.
Yeah. Especially like it was a weekly show like that. Like, I don't know. But yeah, there's a lot of back then, especially the golden age of TV, or like the beginning, the burgeoning TV business. Yeah. They had to come up with shows. Like they had to come up with some kind of idea to have something on TV from a certain time to a certain time. It wasn't like it is now, where it's just like we can show all this stuff. They had to invent stuff, so.
It's just interesting that Sid Caesar is like the Bill Belichick of the comedic writing tree, if you will,
so many people
learned under him. And that's just, it's interesting.
But I don't really think I can, you know what? I don't think I can say anything else that you guys haven't already said. I think it's, and I don't think I need to. It's just, I don't know. I know some people would have probably been like, maybe they don't know. Maybe we need to slow down on the jokes, but Mel Brooks just leans into it. He's like, no, just throw some more in there for good measure. Throw some more in there for good measure. And it works. He's like, also, it's like, I think that's like you were saying, with that shows and Sid Caesar influence of him and Carl Reiner. I think
Yeah.
I think that it really does show in this movie the way the jokes are just firing on all cylinders. This is kind of him at like right when he's at his prime though, because they did like Young Frankenstein and Blazing Saddles like basically back to back.
Yeah.
So
They
he was
both were
probably
74. Yeah.
yeah. So
What a year to have, dude.
And he
Step
gets
aside,
nominated for an
it.
Oscar for
Yeah.
screenwriting for a comedy. Unheard of, man.
all right. So I guess we'll go to the next, and I'll start with John this time. I mean, I don't know what else we can say about it, but like, what do you think the theme of this movie is, John?
Okay. I mean, I don't want it's easy to say, oh, it's satire. They're not making any bigger, grander statements here, but that's, you know, to quote Joe Biden, that's malarkey. This movie clearly has a lot to say about race, like a ton of things to say, and definitely wants to put, for one of those rare moments, the audience in the shoes of someone of a different race, right? Force a white audience to be a black person or see persecution at just as plain as day. And coming out of the civil rights era, right? Coming out of the 60s, here we have the all-American genre of the Western being forced to be the canvas with which he's going to paint a discussion about race and make you laugh at race, make you not just make you feel uncomfortable to be white and watching a film about race, but also be able to make you laugh at the fucked up foibles of humanity and just be like, look, we screwed up. Like, you know, we messed up a ton and hopefully we've come a long way, right? It's easy to laugh about it and put it in the past, right? But clearly this was coming out of the 60s. This is not over, but to be able to at least place it in time and then poke fun at it, I think it offered the audience the chance to understand racism in a different way. And I think that's clearly a massive fact. Now, obviously, Mel Brooks with some level of an inferiority complex and feeling like persecuted maybe for his Jewish background and wanting to maybe apply that emotion to the civil rights movement may have driven him in some manner, but the boldness to basically say, I'm going to make a comedy about racism and let's just go with it. It's like, it's a big, bold statement. And I think he hits a home run with it. Like it could easily have backfired, but it worked really well. Oh, sorry, Matt. Yeah, you're muted.
The same way could have backfired like with Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
And in fact,
100%.
I saw an interview where Robert Downey Jr. is like, they said, did anybody try to talk you out of making this movie when it first? Like, oh, my mom begged me. She said, please, Bobby, don't do this movie. So I'm sure there were people like, I don't know, Mel. Maybe this shouldn't be your next movie. You know, but
he did not care.
Like we said, the joke is always on the racist people. The joke's on the racist people most of the time. Yeah. They're the ones the butt of the joke. And like what's funny is they're like, well, Olsen Johnson's right about Howard Johnson being right. And all their names are Johnson, you know. Johnson, so it just kind of tells you what their family tree looks like. But anyway, so okay, John, you're done?
Yes, sir.
All right. Chad, what do you think of the theme of the movie?
First off, great points, John, for sure. Yeah, it's satirical, but there are definitely serious points within there. And like John said, race is a big one. You know, and you've got not just, you know, against blacks, but amongst American Indians. You got Mel Brooks playing an Indian chief or whatever. Like that was pretty comical.
He's darker than us.
Yeah. With the Chinese, there's a few things thrown in there. But even beyond that, like I think they're satirizing power as well, like with the governor, right?
Oh yeah.
Politics, that we don't give a fuck. We are going to take your land you know, they're morons. We'll just do whatever as long as
Yeah.
we stay in power.
He's like, we'll give them these things right here. He says, little devils, they love these toys. And like also he says the thing about like here boys, take some of these in lieu of pay. Remember it's Chad, he says, we got to protect our phony baloney jobs when he's talking about Rock Ridge.
And then he can't get it to where he goes, this is warp, this is shit.
Yeah.
That was funny.
It kind of reminds me of I don't know. Never mind. It kind of
Well,
reminds me of somebody
and
in
Brooks
Washington
Brooks
now.
does this a few different times in his career, playing that obnoxious person in power. Obviously, President Scrooge being another example, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love how he does it. He's like cross-eyed too. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
So great.
He's like, help me sign this. Help me sign this.
Yeah.
And
of
then
course,
even,
he's got like the big-breasted like secretary, right? Which is
Yeah.
also like hilarious.
oh yeah, the state of affairs has to what do you say? Takes precedent over the state of affairs. I'll see you gentlemen
Yeah.
later.
If there's a state, yeah.
And his pants are already half down. Like,
Well, he's got GOV on the back of his shirt, so everybody knows who he is. Like,
Good.
you know, I mean, even beyond that, I would say friendship and being an outcast. The relationship between Bart and Jim,
Yeah.
right? They're both outcasts. They're both kind of on the outside fringes of things, but they make a friendship, and they ride off into the sunset together. You know, so relationships, perseverance during struggle, right? Like,
yeah.
obviously, about a lot of bad shit's going on for some of these people. So,
Overcoming a bunch of morons that have bad intentions.
yeah.
I just like how I don't know. Like, the whole, like, I agree with you, though, the camaraderie thing. Yeah, like, you can see that, too, with the friendship.
Oh, definitely. I don't know how much more I can pull out of it, but those are my contributions.
Well, I'm on cruise control tonight. You guys are really kicking ass. So, Jake, what do you think of the theme is?
Yeah, I think you guys touched on a bunch of that. Racism, satire. I wanted to I think too. I wanted to point out like you were talking just at that last part of Bart's just sitting there, and that's like the one time you see Bart like super serious, and it's because an old lady said up yours to him basically, right? And then he's just super serious, like almost like he's gonna cry. And then Gene talks to him, right? And then he's like ends it with morons. And that's when he like busts out laughing. Like I find that part pretty like apropos. But yeah, I think too, like even the ending, right? Like he doesn't leave it at just like Westerns, right? He throws all of Hollywood into the mix right at the very end, which I think is like pretty important too. Like nobody and no one is off limits. So aside from the things that John and Chad have mentioned, I think that's another poignant part as well, that I really like about it too. Like, and just the fact of that, even like a lot, I think Lyle had like in some of the extras just said like he had a real problem with calling Cleavon that word, and Cleavon was just basically like, look man, like these are just written words. He's like, this is just the movie, and kind of reassuring him that he was allowed to call him that. But I mean, right, like I think that's like part of it that some people don't realize that that is something that would be hard to do, especially if like they're your friend or whatever. But
right.
Well, they also said about the movie Django Unchained, like
sure.
So I thought it was just a serious version of this movie.
Yeah.
I love that.
The racists in that movie are just as dumb, in my opinion.
And I love that part too. Like I think that's another thing that I love about Mel Brooks is that like nothing is off limits. And I can I give him kudos for that, because he he does it in such a way that it's powerful, it's poignant, but it's also hilarious, you know, and it's you know, obviously like stood the test of time. So that's like a big kudos for Mel Brooks for me, for sure.
I love that you brought up the Hollywood satirical stuff, because I think that's the lesson that maybe Ben Stiller took for Tropic Thunder, was like, I can dive into these topics of racism and war, but if I'm just spending all my time focusing on how absolutely entitled and idiotic Hollywood is,
Yeah.
I'll get away with it. Like I can within that framework of like, we're the big target here is Hollywood, but I can make a lot of other comments while I'm doing
like
it.
The whole thing about like the method actor being so method, it gets on everybody's nerves on the set.
Yeah.
They lean into that part of it. Yeah.
And I think too, to like John's point, right, is that, and I think Zach or Chad had mentioned it earlier, is like that, right, in today's world, in today's comedy and movies, like, and this is because producers and people that are in charge in Hollywood don't know what the fuck they're doing, and they're literally like holding you by the hand and showing like, hey, like ringing the bell, it's time to laugh, you know what I mean? Here's the punchline. Like that's like what in the past, you know, like Mel Brooks, Monty Python have done so well, you know what I mean? And it does leave us open to interpretation and stuff like that. So, but yeah, your turn, Zach.
I'll go. The things you guys talked about, I agree with it 100%. Like, there's nothing a lot I can add to it. But what I love about Mel Brooks as a filmmaker is he looks at these things and he looks at people who would maybe still use some of the verbiage used in this film and says, this is how I see you. This is how we're going to portray you here in society. If you would like to continue to be that way, you be my guest. But this is how we are going to look at people like you.
Yeah.
Same with how he plays the character that he plays in the movie, right? You big boss people that try and screw people over all the time. You want to keep acting like that. That's fine. But this is how I'm going to portray you. And tons of people went and saw this film. And so this is how we are going to have society see people like you. And same with the Hollywood business, is like, he puts a mirror up to it and says, look at the ridiculousness of what you do and who you are and how you choose to live. And this is how we're going to, like, everyone's going to laugh and make fun of you. If you continue to be that way, go right ahead. And I think that
he's punching up at all these big, powerful people and kind of saying, like, like you're saying, holding that mirror up.
And I think it's that's also, I think, why it stands the test of time, because those themes are, in some cases, sad that they're still around, but they are just timeless. And there's always going to be a man, and we're always going to want to stick it to the man.
Absolutely.
And he does it in such a really fun, interesting, cool, you know, you're as general of a Western movie as you can. The town is in trouble. The sheriff comes to save it. And he turns it into this really well-layered, really funny, all-time comedy that, you know, nobody else could put it, you know, pull it off this way but him. So
I never give a saga an even break. That's what it says in the poster, I think.
Oh, that's cool. But yeah, he's the man, dude. I think this definitely just let everybody know, like, he can do whatever he wants to do.
Yeah. You
know? And he got to, and that's a very rare in that industry, is you get to just do whatever you want to do. And you know, I'm a purist, so I didn't like History of the World Part 2, so I'm not sure about Spaceballs Part 2. To watch it, but I, you know, up until these things that are getting, you know, sequels now, I think you could put his filmography up against anybody's and be like, that's pretty damn good stuff.
Absolutely.
Definitely. All right. Who was I'm sorry, I had something.
Your turn, Matt.
It's your turn, Matt. We're back to you, buddy.
Your homie.
Well, I don't know. I think it's like just because I don't know. It's like if you label people a certain way, you're probably going to be fooled, right? You know what I mean? You know, trust the like he kind of leaned into like the whole thing they thought of, like guys like him when he first saw him. He's like, oh no, help me. You know, it's like all that stuff with like, you know, one more move and he gets it, you know. And like so he's like, oh baby, you're so good, and they're so stupid. And like the whole movie is just him getting over on everybody. Like they think that Lily Von Stuck's gonna seduce him to where he's gonna do whatever they say, and nope, nope. He ends up. She's like, I never met nobody like you before. She just sprung over him, right? Like, and then like they're always him and Gene Wilder are always outsmarting everybody. So I don't know. Like I think sometimes like maybe this is a weird theme to put on it, but like sometimes it's easy to outsmart hate. I guess I don't know, but maybe not. But like it just kind of shows you most of the time though hate comes from an ignorant place. These guys are just ignorant people. Like remember at the end he goes, okay, they could come in, but not the Irish. And he's like, okay, well, the Irish too. It's kind of like how you kind of bring a society along kicking and screaming in modern times kind of too, though, if you think about it. Like they didn't want to do it, but they were kind of forced to do it because they each needed each other. So at the end of the day, they kind of solved. I wish it was that nice. I wish you could solve racism in an hour and 32 minutes, but you know, unfortunately you can't. But they did it in the movie, except for at least for the good guys. So I don't know. That's all I got to say about it. I think we did pretty good. Sometimes the review is longer than the movie, but we might make it this time without it being. So we'll go ahead and rate the movie 1 to 5. John, what do you give Blazing Saddles 1 to 5? I think I have
this is an easy 5. This is an easy. I don't even need to do this. This is shenanigans.
You don't even have to explain your point.
Ask, right?
You don't even have to explain your point.
It's a 5. Like this is peak Mel Brooks and just absolutely a joy every time. So yeah, easy 5.
All right, Chad, what is your rating of the Blazing Saddles?
I think you got an inkling.
I have a feeling. I think I have a feeling.
Third favorite Mel Brooks film, but it's still a 5. It's comedy gold, a masterpiece in itself. Easy 5. Exactly, Fable. Yeah. Jake, on to you.
Yeah, Jake, go ahead.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Easy 5. I mean, the fact that it's 1974 and it holds up to today, let alone like cinematically, style, structure, everything. There's right, there's no CGI, there's nothing to like bump it down. Even that wouldn't matter. But I mean, it's just straight up classic Mel Brooks. It's definitely like one of my family's favorite movies. Like, one of my favorite movies as well. And just love it to death, man. Easy 5 for sure.
Yeah. Zach.
Yeah, it definitely gets a 5 for me. Sorry, this movie, like I told you, very influential in my life. I quote it all the time. I was just took my back to a memory of my brother and I used to have, do leaves in the yard, do the yard work for my parents and whatnot. And we'd play music and stuff. And one of our inside jokes would be like, if a shitty song came on while we were working, I would say, that's not a working song. And then we'd change it. And the song we want to listen to, now that's a working song. But anyway, it gets a 5, 100% for me. But yeah, man, this is an extremely quotable movie. It's fun to quote it, and then people go, what movie is that from? And you say Blazing Saddles, and if they're a cool person on which way they react to you saying this movie, it's from Blazing Saddles. If they don't like it, not somebody I'm going to hang out with very much.
Yeah, cut that person out of your life right there.
Yeah, let me tell you. You meet a lot of those in community theater. You meet a lot of those.
If I say put the candle back and you don't know what I'm talking about, I don't think I can be friends with you.
Yeah,
that's
fair.
But, I don't know. But anyway, so I got all 5s all around. Well, I guess I'll make it official. It's a 5. I would give it a 15 if I could. Or what is it when they do the tier rankings? This would be S tier.
This would be an S tier, yeah.
Absolutely.
I would say God tier comedy. I don't know that there's many other comedies out there, but except maybe 2 other ones by Mel Gibson that I would.
Mel Brooks,
yeah.
Sure.
I mean, Mel Brooks.
Gibson's hilarious in his own way, but
yeah.
Braveheart.
I don't know. His 911. His 911 is a.
That Man Without a Face is a riot.
Yeah, he was actually a laugh riot in Expendables 3. That movie.
Yeah, dude.
Not even
I
like
mean, the chat's thrown out a couple other great satires like Airplane or Naked Gun that I know obviously are in that S tier category. But
And they're up
the
there.
fact that Mel
They're up
Brooks
there.
could do this on his own, you know, you look at a lot of those other comedies where you got like 2 or 3 directors, 2 or 3 writers, and here's Mel acting, writing, directing, producing, like doing the whole thing. Yeah, he's the GOAT for a reason.
Yeah, and not even on like just pure comedy. It's like all the undertones that he has in his films too.
Right.
It's like, oh man, just brilliant for sure.
Fable's right. It's been but look at what we've had to work with: the Wild Bunch, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and Blazing Saddles, and it doesn't.
One more to go. One more to go.
And I have a feeling that if it doesn't get a 5, it'll get a high score because we're going to next Wednesday. Me and John will be back. I think Chad will. I don't know, Chad, are you going to be there?
Yep.
All right. Chad will be there. I think maybe Big Jeff and
Big Jeff.
somebody else. I think did I badger? I think Fable will be there. I badgered Fable and I said, "You've never seen this movie. You got to see it."
Get his ass in gear.
Which movie?
Get your ass to Mars.
We got a room. We got room left, Zach. If you want to be on it next Wednesday.
I don't know. That's trivia night for me and the missus. She's gone tonight. That's why we're not there. But that's our one date night.
But I would say, and this may be a hot take, maybe Clint Eastwood's best Western.
I don't know if I'll go that far, but I wouldn't go that far that this is Mel Brooks' best film, but still both absolutely iconic.
Also, maybe it's actually a top tier Civil War movie, though. I know that for sure because it kind of I think it kind of delves more into Civil War than I see what Sergio Leone was trying to do with Good, the Bad, the Ugly with the Civil War backdrop, but I think it was done more successfully in Outlaw Josie Wells, the Civil War aspect of it. But I do love Good, the Bad, the Ugly.
The 3 characters in Good, the Bad, and the Ugly are so good and so rich that you kind of just don't really give a shit about anything else going on. But those 3 guys,
you don't really. It's just like
suffers a little bit because
dressing,
the performances are so good and so rich, you know.
Yeah, but it happens sometimes.
It does. Sometimes you get just lightning in a bottle, and then the stuff you thought that might help it prop it up actually kind of is a hindrance. Like the people in a Godzilla movie. Like I can give a shit about the humans in a Godzilla movie.
I think maybe I hope I didn't aim too high for the first Western month because next year, I mean,
what are you talking about?
how do we go down? How do we go up from what we've just
right?
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, we'll go around the horn and see what everybody's got. Before we do that, though, I will be on. I'll just do my stuff first since I'm already over here. Sunday Super Show Extravaganza will be Sunday at 6 p.m. I have the Comic Lounge tomorrow night at 7. If you guys want to hang out, I just want an excuse to show off my cute little thumbnail of Wonder Woman. But all right. And then we have Horror Fest on right now. Me and Robbie and Chad all up. It starts on the 17th. Or starting with the Omen franchise. Robbie started. I'm not starting till September, and Chad.
He can't even fit October in there.
Yeah, I know.
Well, that's the next. That's the next
one. Yeah, this is the next one.
Christmas.
69 films.
69 films. So
okay.
3 months.
I'll accept it because it adds up to 69. But holy crap, that's almost offensive.
Next Monday, I think it's next day. Yeah. We are reviewing. I will be on there for this one.
Fantastic.
Oh, classic, yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Reggie Bannister just passed away. Too.
I know, man. And he was like he was so cool to his fans and stuff, like when he was at conventions.
Well, he can still live in. He's still living currently in Catching Hell from American mythology. It's kind of like a little love letter to Reggie. So.
And I did have a video come out today. If anybody's interested, I did a retrospective on Wolverine issue 1 from 1988. Big John Buscema and Chris Claremont, I think, worked on that one together. It's only like a 3 or 4 minute video, so. If you don't mind, go watch it, hype it up if you can. It's got the hype button on it, but you don't have to. But but like it does help. I think it helps. I've noticed it kind of helps. But and then I have another preview video coming out Friday. I don't know what of yet because I haven't done it yet because I've been sick. But all right, John, what do you got coming up on John's Comics with Friends?
Yeah, man. I got my normal Saturday morning. I go live most Saturday mornings to talk stuff relating to comics, and I've got a really good friend who has a self-published comic, and he's finally got the second volume ready. And so we're gonna have him on. We're gonna discuss a little bit what he does. The comic is called Star Wrestling. He's a Portland area awesome gentleman. This is Scott Hazelwood. Yeah, his name is Scott Hazelwood. He hits a lot of the local Portland area comic shops and events, and often has his comics for sale. I will have info on Scott's goodies, and then of course I'm doing Dungeons and Dragons on my channel Sunday night. So that's what's coming up here. And then every Thursday at 11:30 Eastern, 8:30 Pacific, I drop a new video. So there's always a new video coming every Thursday.
Awesome. Thanks, John.
Sweet.
Chad, what do you got coming up on the Metal Elf Collectibles YouTube channel?
Well, first off, thanks for having me. This was a great conversation tonight.
I always love having you here, bro.
Thank you. Let's see here. So tomorrow night I will be on Gary B, the Casual Comic Guy, for my return appearance for 10/11. I believe that's 8 p.m. Eastern. Friday, I believe we're having a Collectors Assemble live over on Toy Quest 101. And that's at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. I've released some shorts from StatueCon that I went to recently, and I'm working on editing a bunch of interviews. So please look out for those. You can check me out on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, eBay, everywhere. So
heck yeah.
look out for that. Thank you.
Thanks, Chad. All right, Jake, what do you got coming up, man?
Do you have the picture I sent you?
Oh yeah, hold on. Now I gotta find it.
It's all right.
I suck. All right, hold on.
It's all good.
I'm working on it. Just ad lib for a minute.
Okay, yeah. I mean, you can always come to my page. I got tons of stuff for sale. Sketch covers. What else? Sketch cards. I got prints. I got canvases. Commissions. Let me know. I can definitely do whatever.
There you go.
Yeah. And then we have finally rescheduled my brother from down under, Spud from Army of Darkness Comics, and I will officially debut our Hail to the Panels, baby. It's going to be kind of like an episodic live stream, hopefully on a monthly, maybe bi-monthly, where we're going to discuss the guts, the gore, and the glory of each groovy story. And first up will be Army of Darkness, the movie adaptation from Dark Horse, which was released between 1992 and 1993. So come hang out, check it out. It's going to be a good time. And that'll be this Sunday on the 23rd, 4 p.m. Central. But yeah, come hang out. Other than that, I will be coming on a few of the movie reviews for Horror Fest, of course. Not as many that are listed, but I lucked out. I'm going to be on some of my favorites, Evil Dead franchise, of course. I'll be on the Reanimator franchise, which is another one of my favorite horror movies. And I think I will be doing Motel Hell this month, I think.
Hey, I'll be there for that one too.
Yeah. So I'll be doing that one. And then I don't remember if I'm on any other ones. I think I may be on one other, but yeah, I'll be around. But yeah, come check out my page. I recently had my first viral clip of my Puppet Master torch painting, which was pretty cool. So I'm kind of like stoked after, posting 1,650 posts. That one got some, just hit the algorithm, nicely. So that's cool.
It's a great feeling.
Yeah,
Awesome.
it's cool. But yeah, other than that, Matt, it's always a pleasure, man. John, Chad, Zach, I think it's nice to meet you for the first time.
Yeah, I think so.
But yeah, man, I love hanging out with you guys. I love talking movies and pop culture for sure. Love it.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Zach, what do you got coming up? I know you just started the Tales of a True Believer.
Yeah, you can go check out. I did a little Spider-Man. I don't know if you want to call it a review, but just talk about how it made me feel, because everybody just likes to break down everything, and I go to the movies to feel something. So I talked about that. Then on Mondays, come join me in the trenches when I try to talk about anything Marvel with Bruce from Kingdom of Nerds. One of my favorite people in the world, but I'll tell you what, man.
You're a saint, man. You're a saint. I do once a month. I don't know how you do every week. Come on.
Let me tell you, dude, it keeps me going. It's fun. I like it. I look forward to it.
You need to fire that yourself up, right?
What logic can I bring to the conversation today that will totally be ignored?
Yes, there it is. Yeah, it's like what logic is not going to break the wall.
Yeah. So yeah, come check me out there. Come check me out on my page, Tales of a True Believer. My little brother's coming over this weekend. We're gonna shoot a bunch of content. And then coming up soon next month, September, Black Order Book Club returns. I'm not shooting a movie anymore. That ends Friday. So I was laying a pool of blood today, fellas. It was pretty sick. I just got to lay there. It was on a really hard floor while they shot everybody else walking around. Oof. Can't tell you what, maybe I was just tired, but yeah, that was fun today. So excited to finish that and get back to doing the book club and stuff. So fun times.
Awesome. Well, yeah, let's get him up to 100 subs at least. He's at 33 right now, guys. So
yeah, whatever keeps me low enough to be able to still be in the running for newcomer of the year.
As long as it's 150 or lower, I think it's like 125 or lower. You're good, or 150.
Oh, okay.
Lower.
Was that on YouTube?
I guess so. Yeah.
The Comic Book Awards. Yeah.
Okay.
Appreciate the nomination.
Yeah.
I think it was 250, and I'm taking it home, Zach.
Okay.
CSI Milwaukee.
That's okay with me, Chad. I was just appreciated to be there. I wish it was CSI Milwaukee. But,
that was my guess. I'm assuming. My daughter is obsessed with the original CSI all of a sudden, so she's watching. She's back from like season 2 of CSI.
That's a great gateway to the Who, by the way. If she's not a Who fan,
I hooked her on X-Files first, but then somehow that led to CSI. I don't know.
I don't have my sunglasses here. I would take them off slowly and look at you like David Caruso.
Well,
we're not ready for Miami or New York or any of those spinoffs yet. Milwaukee's way down the line.
William Peterson, the original CSI.
Oh yeah, season 2.
Yeah. Nice.
After she's already gone through a ton of X-Files, man, she's obsessed with that one.
Oh, I'll tell you, she got to the episode's my favorite episode, where they're in the woods and there's this thing that's invisible, stalking.
You literally described like 700 episodes of X-Files right there. They're in the woods and there's something they can't quite see. Like that's like all X-Files.
Whatever. Okay. You know what I mean? It was a good one though. Actually, you know what? I always liked it when the smoking guy was in them because it was really good.
Yep. Cancer Man.
Yeah, like there's one scene where he takes out the tracheotomy and sticks the cigarette in his throat and smokes.
The trach ring. Yep. Yeah.
The trach ring. I was like, oh my god. So anyway, but that was a good show. Shout out to the Lone Gunman, although their show didn't work too well, but they were great on the show. All right, well, guys, thanks for being here. This has been a real. I've really had a lot of fun. So, I don't know. Mel Brooks is the king of comedy. Fight me on that. I'm telling you right now, I think he's the greatest. Anyway, but let's see if I can get a harumph out of all these guys, and we'll say harumph. We gotta save our phony baloney jobs, gentlemen.